One of the reasons, as I'm a Christian first.
Yes.
And as a Christian, I decided to become involved with the Republican Party. And it's not because I think the Republican Party is perfect. However, they do have a great platform.
That's right, they
have
do.
a great platform at the national level as well as our state platform.
And we can talk more about that in a few minutes.
Yes.
Because there's been battles to keep it great.
Yes, that's right. So it's the national platform as well as the state platform are pro-life, and they promote traditional marriage as well as fiscal responsibility. These are all things as Christians that we can support.
That's right.
So that's why I chose to affiliate with the Republican Party.
I know a lot of Christians have strong beliefs, and they would like to think that their voice could be heard, but they probably feel disenfranchised.
Yeah.
But the precinct committeeman position can open up a whole new world for you. And I will tell you about a Christian lady from Southern Illinois that called me a couple years ago that was a precinct committeeman. She was complaining because the county wanted to put out a new referendum that they were going to increase taxes by so much because they want to put up a new high school. And she said they didn't need a high school. And all I told her was fight it. She said it was too late for that. I said, no, it's not. It's not too late till the vote goes through. And 4 months later, I got a call from her, and she was all excited. She said, we won. And I kind of forgotten what she talked about because we talk about a lot of different things. But she said, we beat the referendum. And so that was one person that got behind her beliefs and got people riled up.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, one person can make a difference in this world. And we need people to step up because we are ordained by the Bible, by God, to do that as Christians. And so, and did you know, by the way, that Bill Brady ran for governor as a Republican, 6 years ago or whatever it was? And I will tell you, 8 years ago, I will tell you that Illinois is an overwhelmingly Republican state. Totally dominated by Chicago Democrats, Cook County. So Bill Brady won 99 of 102 counties, but lost the election, mainly because of Cook County, which is a big one. But I will tell you that the most of the state is Republican, but there's a lot of lethargic people out there because they think it's a Democrat state. They think that we can't win. They think that I can't do anything myself. But that lady from Southern Illinois proved it.
In Chicago, in Cook County, I would say that there's Black and Hispanic brothers and sisters in Christ we should be reaching out to, right? I would call it low-hanging fruit on the issues of marriage, on abortion, on the sanctity of life, on all kinds of other issues that we all stand in lockstep with biblical values, but we're not doing it. They've kind of written it off. But if we had a Republican Party that was willing to fight, if we had precinct committeemen filling these seats, educating the voters in these areas, I bet you a lot of them will switch their votes.
To your point about Cook County,
Yes.
just overshadows the rest of the state. You know, like Jim was saying, this is very doable. If we increase our voter turnout in all of the counties outside of Cook County, we can do this. We can win elections. As Jim pointed out in Bill Brady's election, I can't remember how many. That was a narrow.
That was very narrow. 10,000 votes, I think? It wasn't even that
less.
much.
I think it was less than that. So, and we figured out all we needed to do was just increase our voter turnout by a couple voters per precinct, and we could have won that election for governor.
People, if Christians run for precinct committeeman, we can change that in one election. So, folks, we need to get you involved. You need to get involved now and not think about it. Just get involved.
And let's go through that real quick and how easy it is. Jim, how many signatures do you need on a petition form to file to run for precinct committeeman?
You need 10 signatures of people that are registered to vote in your precinct.
Right. So
it only takes one vote to get elected. And so they're going to get elected in these empty precincts, and they'll most likely get elected in a number of the other ones too, because a lot of places in Illinois, the people don't even know who their committeeman is.
And since the vast majority of the precincts are vacant, in other words, there's no Republican precinct committeeman there now, the chances are you're going to be unopposed and able to file and get on the ballot and be elected with just the minimum effort of collecting 10 signatures. I mean, that's all it really is. It's not onerous. It's pretty doable.
And just a reminder that people that get elected to these committeeman positions, there is an automatic, an average of 30% higher voter turnout. And even if you don't work your precinct that much, if you're an elected committeeman, you're going to talk to your friends, your relatives, your church people.
That's right.
And that in itself will increase the vote in the precinct because, why? Because the average voter is disenfranchised. So if they get it, the only information they get is what they see on television or hear on the radio or read in the paper. We don't know if it's true or not. It's mostly advertising. So at this point, if there's a committeeman in there, the voters are getting real information. They're getting the truth about who the good candidates are, and so they start to feel a part of the whole process.
That's right, absolutely. Yeah. And it's so important. If you have questions about the process, we have a web page dedicated to the Precinct Committeeman at ifiaction.org. But if you have a question that isn't answered, please feel free to send us an email at feedback@ifiaction.org, and we'll get you an answer. If we don't know it right away, we'll find out and get back to you. That's feedback@ifiaction.org.
I just want to remind people, too, how easy this is.
Yes.
The precinct committeeman position is very easy. As we said earlier, we're asking 8 to 10 hours a year of time, and you can schedule.
You can do more if you want.
Yeah.
But, let me just explain. I'm a father of 7. I'm an elder in my church. I work this 2 organizations, Illinois Family Institute, Illinois Family Action, and I make a little time every year to be able to do this in my community. It's important.
Let me also mention that, remind everyone that it doesn't cost anything to run the precinct committeeman, and it doesn't cost anything. The party's not going to be hounding you for money every other day.
That's right.
You don't have to give anything.
You can say
no. You don't have to give anything unless you want to. And then I'd like to also mention that, you can spend a lot of time being precinct committeeman, and most people will tell you that you have to walk your district 2 or 3 times, your precinct, and meet all the people and spend all this time out there. Well, you don't, because what we promote is this block leader program. So if you get elected as precinct committeeman, find a person and you're going to have an area that maybe 8 or 10 blocks large. It's not huge. And then you find one person, and you'll get the list of all the Republican voters in your precinct from your party or from the county clerk. And you'll know who all the voters are. And we want you to find an enthusiastic voter on each block. Say you have Mary over here and Joe over here, John over here, and Susan over here, and we want them to be your block leaders. And so those are the people you communicate with. So you're going to have friends that think like you in your precinct, and we want you to make sure they understand they're the ones that communicate directly with the voters to get out the vote on Election Day. So it's a simple process. You'll run your own little organization, and it'll be kind of like a social club because your people think like you do.
There's a lot of help, too, through your county party organization. They provide training for precinct committeemen. They will get you these lists of registered voters, so you will know how people in your neighborhoods vote, who the Republicans are, who the Democrats and independents are. And so they provide you, if you want a map for your, what your area is.
It's usually on their website, too.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
So there is help. If you have any questions about how to fill out your petition, how to contact your voters, the county organizations are very helpful that way.
And if you have questions, call us at Illinois Family Action.
Incidentally, this is not just open to Republicans, by the way. We need Christian conservatives to be involved. If you're a Democrat, to run as a Democrat precinct committeeman too, because Democrats in Illinois are inundated with public sector union people as precinct committeemen, and most of their agendas have to do with public sector union interests.
Right.
So it's important on that side also.
That's right. Well, it's funny, Jim, that it's not funny. It's sad, actually. We've seen the Democratic Party here in Illinois kind of purge out a lot of conservative Christian Democrats. We used to have, especially on the South Side, we had all these Irish Catholic Democrats who were pro-life, pro-union. They're gone. They're gone. But downstate, we still have, especially pro-union, pro-life Democrats who are elected to the state General Assembly. And so, yes, we need to keep fighting for that too, because when we're down there lobbying, Illinois Family Institute is down there lobbying for pro-life measures, we need to count on some Democrat votes to stop onerous bills from going forward. So it's very important. So Jan, the Precinct Committeeman job is important in and of itself, but it also can be an entry level into and a stepping stone to other positions. This is like a good training ground to run for library board, village trustee, mayor, state rep, right?
That's a good point. Yeah, the Precinct Committeeman position attracts people with different motives or different reasons for running. Some people, like you said, would see it as kind of a launching point for other elected offices.
That's
they
right.
have ambitions to run for higher office. And it's a great place to learn how to talk to people about
That's right.
politics, walk in your neighborhood and
That's
meet
right.
people.
Get yourself inserted, hearing, like you said, going around as a listening tour in your own community, finding out what's important to people, but also helping them get educated on the issues.
And also, let me add
Training
to that
around.
also that there are people that may run for committeemen that think they just want to be involved on very basic local level.
That's right.
For example, your wife, and I'm not saying she should, but your wife raised 7 kids,
That's right.
and so I know she's got some skills.
That's right.
And sometimes people run for committeemen, and they find out that, wow, I could do that. There's congressmen and women that are just average people.
I want to turn quickly before we wrap up to the party structure and how it looks, Jim, with the precinct committeemen being the bottom and feeding all the way up to the top at the State Central Committee. You've got a great graph.
Well, and I have 2 of them here. I have how it is and how it
Should be.
could be.
Could be, okay.
And how it is there's at the top is the State Central Committee, the Illinois Republican Party.
Yep.
And then below them are 102 county GOP organizations. They're
That's
out
right.
there. It's 102
There's 102
armies
counties
out
in
there.
Illinois. Yep.
And then under them, there's a handful of precinct committeemen under each county. So there's a total of roughly 2,200 committeemen, and not too many block leaders are out there. So we're not really getting to the voters like we could.
Right.
But here's how it could be
All right.
if we can
you
get
were telling
Christians
me
involved.
too, though, before we went to record here, it takes 1.8 million votes.
The most votes ever in the history of Illinois was Barack Obama's first presidential run, and there were 1.8 million Democrats that got him elected.
Right.
And so that's what we're shooting for, 1.8 million voters.
And this structure helps us accomplish that.
Well, and so you take the 102 county committees, county GOP committees. There's 102 counties. So
Right.
those armies are out there now. They're
That's
ready,
right.
organizations
That's
ready
right.
to go. If we got all 7,000 precinct committeeman positions filled, we'd have the whole state covered. If those 7,000 people had an average of 10 block leaders, that's 70,000 block leaders that are reaching directly to the voters on their blocks.
Yes.
And so not only are we getting the vote out, but then the whole communication system is there all the way down, ultimately down to the voter. So the voters feel like they're really enfranchised. They're part of something. They're getting communication. They're not just seeing ads, and they're actually part of something. And then there are so many other benefits that grow from that.
That's right.
And obviously,
So when we get those common sense moms and dads who have real world experiences filling these spots, we're not going to get these out of touch policies that we often have right now and today, right?
And so think about that one. So
Yeah,
you have
right.
70,000 block leaders. If we just had the block leaders, didn't even go to the voters, and the majority of them are Christians, and somebody comes with some anti-Christian measure, we could,
Slap
with
it
one
down pretty
email,
quick.
70,000 contacts jumping all over them about making the right decision.
Wouldn't that be phenomenal?
Yeah.
Yes.